You're welcome to DBA TV, where we discuss everything international trade. In this series, you are going to be learning about what each of the Nigerian states have to offer as far as export is concerned. I have maintained that Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars and that they can be self-sufficient, but because the number of governors comes in with not the intention of generating income, but with the intention of sharing the money. But in this particular episode, we have put together a series of video for all the Nigerian states from Abia to Zamfara, and this to enable the new governors that are coming in, or the new administration in different states of the country, to be able to take a cue from what we've shared in this video, which, by the way, covers the peculiarity of each state apart from the preamble. It talks about the profile of the profit, of the debt and income of the state. It talks about the potential of the state. It talks about the purchaser of the product the state have to offer, and of course, the exportable product, and also the proposal we have for the state, and how the state can directly profit from exporting raw materials, manufactured goods, solid minerals, and agri-commodity. I believe this will be of interest to you and maybe to your governor or to commissioner, whoever it is in your state. Thank you very much for joining. Enjoy yourself as you learn through what maybe your state is what we are looking at today, what Nigerian state have to offer. Happy listening. Thank you very much. So as usual, we'll go to our 7 areas of consideration, as we often do every Thursday by 5 p.m. And the first consideration is preamble. Remember, today we are looking at exploring the export business opportunities in Bayelsa State. Bayelsa is an oil-producing state. Exploring export business opportunities in Bayelsa State. Preamble, the peculiarity of the state, the profile in terms of debt and unemployment, the potential of product that can be exported from this state that is not oil, the proposal we have to the state on how they can leverage on what's available, and the profit that the state is capable of generating. The profit that the state is capable of generating from the non-oil business. From the non-oil business. Bayelsa State. Bayelsa State is located in the south-south region of Nigeria, having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 local government, very small state. From Brass to Nembe to Yenogwa, which is the capital, Ekiremo, Southern Ijo, Ogbia, Nembe, Opokuma, and Sagbama. So, why should Bayelsa State export? Like we discuss every week, the reason why Bayelsa State should export include, in order to avoid overdependence on federal allocation, in order to boost the GDP of the state. Export is a major factor in GDP calculation, and export can help to build the GDP of this state. It can help to create avenue for SME to grow. It can help in decreasing dependence on domestic market. It can help the business in the state to earn export proceeds, even the state to earn export proceeds and generate revenue for the state. It makes farming and rural life to become more lucrative. And also to gain global relevance and market share in the world. It can make the state become home of creativity and innovation. Export as a way of making business people to be creative. When you ship abroad and you see what your competitors are doing, you are forced to make necessary adjustments if you must remain in that business. You have to make necessary adjustments if you must remain in that business. Also, it can become it's actually an industrialization catalyst for the state, help in creating jobs. Export also help the state to know what they have as a competitive advantage. It can help the state to lead the way for other states to follow in terms of revenue. That made the state to be independent of federal government, because the state can actually earn money directly. And there are numerous incentives for exporters in the state. There's opportunity for SME to maximize the indigenous of the state abroad. It helps in eradication of poverty, helping to quit the League of Developing Nations, the League of State Development, depending on wasting assets like oil. It can help to revive the economy of the state, slow down rural-urban migration in the state. Also, there are tax-free incentive for exporters. Tax-free incentive for exporters in the state. Utilization of idle capacity of the companies in the state. It can make a state that seems to be not viable to become viable. It's wealth creation opportunity for the citizens of the state. Help these people to x-ray the potential of products found in the state. Yearn for more improvement because of competition, and the state can zero in on their area of strength. So what do you see in Bayelsa? The only thing that people see in South states are basically their oil. What do you see in Bayelsa today? We'll see the unemployment in Bayelsa. We'll see the unemployment in Bayelsa. People see unemployment in Bayelsa. People see poverty in Bayelsa, and even frustration in this state. But guess what? We have opportunity for mining, for farming, opportunity for mining, like the minerals or like the oil, which is the major mineral or natural resources obtained from the state. But more importantly is the opportunity in the population. More important is the opportunity in the population. Peculiarity. What are the peculiarities of Bayelsa State? Bayelsa was created in October 1, 1996 by General Sani Abacha from the River State then. The word Bayelsa was an acronym from BRAS, local government area, called Balga for short, Yenogwal, simply Yerga, Sagbama, simply Saga. So, naming the new state Bayelsa. So Bayelsa is an acronym, just like Abia. Abia is also an acronym. Located in southern part of Nigeria, Bayelsa covers 21 square kilometers, very small, with capital in Yenogwa. It's in the tropical rainforest with more than 3/4 of this area covered by water, with a moderately low land stretching from Ekirimo to Nembe. There are 4 main languages in Bayelsa, which are Izon, Nembe, Ogria, and Ekpie Atia. The predominant religion is Christianity and traditional worship. Bayelsa State has 24 first-class traditional rulers. Land area is just about 9,059 square kilometers. Capital is in Yenogwa. It has just I think it has the lowest local government in Nigeria. Just a local government with a population of 1.7 million. You know, when I look at Lagos, Lagos is over almost 30 million people. The number of local governments in Lagos, population-wise, are bigger than many states in Nigeria. Like a local government like Alimosho, there is more than 6 million people. Vegetation, mangrove rainforest, major crop, cocoa, rice, cassava, pineapple, oil palm, rubber, solid minerals, clay, silica, and limestone. Opportunity for investment include agri, light manufacturing, healthcare, tourism, energy, mining, and transportation. Now, let's look at this state a little bit closer. This state is a large source of LNG, liquefied natural gas, largest reservoir in Nigeria, holding 40% of the onshore crude oil production, one of the top 9 palm oil producing states, which will be my focus for export out of Nigeria, palm oil. One of the 9 largest marine seafood producing states. That's another opportunity in this state. This state has the longest coastline, 203 kilometers. Longest coastline, 203 kilometers. There's opportunity for investment in maize, in cassava, in rice, in fishery, among other things. The IGR of this state is 16.3 billion naira, but the budget is 242 as of 2020. You will agree with me that this state, does not have what it takes to survive without federal allocation, in spite of the opportunity available and the fact that the state is a very, very small state. The state has unemployment rate of 36% and underemployment of 30%. When you add unemployment and underemployment together, that's 66%. Don't be fooled by the word underemployment. Underemployment does not mean the person is gainfully employed. Even if he earns less than 10,000 naira a month, but he works for 8 hours a day, he's employed. If he works for less than 8 hours a day, he's said to be underemployed. So underemployment is not about any. As far as National Bureau of Statistics is concerned, underemployment is actually about the number of hours the person works. So this state basically have 66% of unemployment, in spite of the very small population of the state. Such a huge unemployment rate. Such a huge unemployment rate. Let's look at the profile of the state in terms of debt. This state IGR 2020, 12.18. Federal allocation, $134 billion. $134 billion. Federal allocation, $134 billion. Domestic debt, $144 billion. Foreign debt, $63 million. $63 million. If you convert that figure at the rate of 600, 63 multiplied by 600, that's 63 million. That would be 38 billion, 37 billion. 37 billion plus 144. That's about $180 billion total debt of this state. $180 billion total debt of this state. Let's move further and check out this state. I want you to check the IGR of Bayelsa State. Bayelsa IGR is 12% of the total income of the state. 12% of the total income of the state. How can you say a state like Bayelsa is not viable? If the state, this is so sad. As I go through this every week and I see the over-dependence of Nigerian state on federal allocation, there's no way our economy will really grow if we don't change this kind of system, which is where we preach federalism, true federalism, rather. The reason why I said that is this. If someone will not need to work as a CEO without working, without doing anything, and it can pay salary at the end of the month, there's no incentive for work. The governors are the CEO of their state. If they sleep from January 1 to 30th, they will pay salary without lifting a finger. Because they will simply wait for allocation from federal government in Abuja. It's a very terrible system, I must say. I want you to also check this state again. Do you notice something? Even the way the state is spending money. The state have 77% operating expenses. Capital expenditure, which could also have yield, because the whole idea of capital expenditure is because they're capable of yielding returns. If you build infrastructure, you might be able to generate some rent or some toll fees or some other income from it. But this state capital expenditure is just 22%. So majority of the money earned is basically channeled into daily expenses of the government. According to budget, this state, called the land of glory, sits ingloriously. This is the description of budget. This is the description of budget. Sit ingloriously at the bottom of 2021 ranking of Nigerian states. Can you see? The state is the third highest operating expenses in the country, with over 80%, or sorry, almost 80%, 77% operating expenses, the third highest in the country. Only exceeded by Lagos and Delta. Only exceeded by Lagos and Delta. The operating expenses are larger than those of Rivers. Can you imagine? The operating expenses is larger than Rivers, larger than Kano, Kaduna, or your state. States that are very much bigger. Each of these states are 3 times bigger than Bayelsa and generate more IGR than Bayelsa, but Bayelsa spend more money than them. Until business-minded individuals begin to run governments, we'll keep having this issue in our country. We must vote for a leader who can create wealth. Exactly. States should be subject to monthly MPR. I like that. Monthly performance review. Sincerely, if states in Nigeria are run like business, they will make a lot of money. This should be queried. There's no reason, governors are emperor. For businesses, you have a board of directors that question what you do, that can ask you questions. But for the states, there's nobody asking questions. The governor is pretty much all in all, and the governor will spend the money the way he chooses, and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. See the way the state is spending money. And it's a very small state that should have an advantage of not carrying too much load due to the bureaucracy. But this state is incurring such a high level of cost, man. Too high. As a result, the state was one of the 5 states in the country that gave the least priority to capital expenditure. The state need to prune its operating expenses. Debt burden is $168 billion. $168 billion. Despite being blessed with enormous potential for economic prosperity from which it can potentially generate additional revenue, the state still had one of the smallest IGR in the country. This mega IGR makes the state highly dependent on federal allocation, which account for about 90% of the state recurrent revenue. There are some states in Nigeria that can never survive without federal allocation. Most unfortunate. Potential of Bayelsa State. We should push for amendment to the minimum qualification of our leaders. First degree with MBA, another advantage. Secondly, they must have proven work experience on at least to a managerial position in corporate entity. Very correct. You know, is it not interesting that someone that have not managed 2-3 people before, he has not managed a millionaire before, a millionaire business. He has not managed 2-3 people before. He's going to manage billions of naira and manage millions of people. And we are surprised at the result we are getting. We shouldn't be surprised at the result we are getting. Potential of the state, major occupation of the people of the state is fishing, farming, fishing, farming, palm oil, milling, lumbering, palm wine, local gin making, trading, carving, weaving. Bayelsa is a major oil and gas producing area. It accounts for 30% of Nigeria oil production. Bayelsa is home to Oloibiri, where oil was first struck in 1956, although some other school of thought says that that's not true, that before Oloibiri, there has been oil that they've been exploring and taking away. This is when the Oyibo man made us know they found oil, even though they've been taking it out before then. I mean, these are different school of thought. Gas production activities are currently being intensified in the state as feedstock to liquefied natural gas supply plant in Boni. The major exploration company operating are Shell, Agip, and Texaco. The Cocoa Creek gas turbine owned by Bayelsa State government supplies electricity in Ogoa State capital. The state is presently the only state in Nigeria that provides electricity for itself without any supply from the national grid. The national grid. Without any supply from the national grid. Bayelsa State is presently the only state in Nigeria that has this. It has large reserve of clay, sand, gravel, agri product, cocoa, rice, cassava, pineapple, oil palm, rubber, banana, maize, solid minerals, silica, limestone. Now, let's look at these purchasers. One of the items Bayelsa have opportunity to export or has capacity to produce is rice. Can we check out rice market? Can we check out rice market? $24.7 billion. Rice. 3% of that is from Benin Republic. Of course, South Africa is bigger than Benin. Cote d'Ivoire is bigger than Benin. Benin is 3% of rice importation in the world. You and I know where the rice is escaping to. You and I know where the rice is escaping to. The rice is escaping to Nigeria. But this is the market available for Bayelsa State to sell rice. United States, Iran, China, Saudi Arabia, France, Germany, Iraq. Locally, within Africa, Benin is the largest importer of rice, importing 12%. Africa is importing a quarter of African alone control a quarter of the rice market import in the world. Rice import market in the world. Africa alone controlling $6.06 billion. $6.06 billion. Cameroon, Egypt, Ghana, Togo, Mozambique, Guinea, Somalia are market worth considering. Pineapple is another product from this state, and the state can export to United States. This $2.32 billion market. Netherlands, Spain, France, Germany, Italy, United Kingdom, Belgium, China, Japan. Import of pineapple in Africa is very small, 12 million. Morocco, Egypt, Seychelles, Cape Verde, Togo, Botswana, Tunisia, Namibia. Another market is palm oil. Palm oil is a big deal in South, South, and Southeast. Big deal. Each of the states in that region can generate enormous wealth from production and export of palm oil. I don't know what Rivers State is doing with palm oil. You know, if you are flying into Rivers State, if you look down when you are approaching the airport, you will see a wide plantation of palm kernel. Very massive. I don't know how much palm oil the state is looking at. Oil will not allow the state to see. I mean, it's so sad, sincerely, it's so sad. $29.3 billion. India, China, Pakistan, Netherlands, Spain, Italy, Egypt, Russia, Germany, United States are major importer of this product. In Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Nigeria, Egypt, South Africa, Benin Republic, Angola, Senegal, Somalia, Mauritania, Uganda, Togo, and Djibouti, and it's 4.28. So Africa is importing 4.28 out of about $29.3 billion palm oil market. The next one is banana. The banana market is 14.2 billion. 14.2 billion. 14.2 billion. Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, Russia, United Kingdom, France, Italy, Spain, Poland, Sweden, Romania, China, Japan, Turkey, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, United States, Canada, 14.2 billion for banana, which this state is producing. Africa alone, Algeria, South Africa, Tunisia, Morocco, Senegal, Libya, Mali, Egypt, Botswana. Then rubber. Rubber. Another very important product from this state is rubber. $13.6 billion market. Rubber. China, Malaysia, Japan, India, South Korea, Vietnam, Turkey, Germany, Spain, Italy, Poland, United States, Canada, Mexico, $13.6 billion. $13.6 billion. Rubber. Rubber. South Africa and Egypt are major market for rubber if the state is looking at selling rubber within the continent. Now, every week I made a proposal to state on what I think the state government need to do to be able to grow the production of each of these items in their state. Look at this chain. You know, we talk a lot about SME, SME is the engine room of growth, SME is this, SME is that. But more often than not, the accolade for SME or so-called support for SME are really and truly by mouth. But we can make it be indeed. We can make it be indeed by supporting SMEs. You know, I wrote an article this week on the RT200FS of CBN. The fact that number one, number one, I feel we are focusing on the wrong product. I'm not saying we should jettison our old product. I feel we're focusing on the wrong product. Most of the product we export in Nigeria cannot help CBN to generate the kind of inflow we are looking for. That's one. Because they are not high volume transaction in the world in terms of demand. Number two, to be able to ensure this is not just about bringing in Forex, to also create job in the process, we need to engage the SMEs in the value chain. Currently, you have SMEs in the production of primary products, in the harvesting and transport, in the primary processing and storage, in the secondary processing and storage, in the marketing and sales, in the logistics and export. Sometimes the same SME, sometimes different SMEs. But you know what that does? It creates inefficient value chain operator. Low processing capacity and low output. Few job creation, that means our insecurity will persist if you don't do something about job creation. Low quality and low packaging. High cost of production, because they are not able to leverage on economy of scale. High cost of production and non-competitive product in the export market. Now, here is my proposal that a state government can decide that, look, we want to focus on one or two products that is in high demand in the export market, but we want to engage the SME in the production of the product. Let the SME focus on the primary production and let the SME be the one marketing and exporting it. But form an alliance with the private sector processor who can build a very large processing plant that will be a shared facility where SME can come and process and package, process and package, process and package. So if I want to export potato chips, I bring in the potato there, I buy from SME1, bring it there, they will slice, fry, the oil, package, ready for export. I just give them my design. This is not a new idea. This is what I found out in developed countries. I was particularly in a factory in Leicester in the UK. I was blown away when I saw how these countries are growing SMEs. Most of the brands you see on the shelf, those people don't have a factory. They just source for raw material, take it to a factory who will process for them in their name. This factory is big, it can get all the necessary certification. It can brand the best brand in the world, the best quality. It will have all the necessary certification from HACCP to ISO, and it will be able to produce at a cheap rate. Why? Economy of scale. Economy of scale. Economy of scale. Collaboration, of course. Efficient, this creates efficient value chain operator. High processing capacity and high output. Good quality and packaging. Low cost of production and competitive product in the export market. Increased job creation, which of course will decrease inequality in our country and also decrease insecurity consequently. And also decrease insecurity consequently. In order to support exporter in your state, in Bayelsa state, the state need to enter, for the state to be able to enter market in Africa, Europe, and America in a secure and sustainable manner, the state can do the following. The state can partner with representative at destination to market and secure contract, put up a warehouse for pickup by wholesaler and retailer at destination market, set up an entity who are agent or distributor at destination to help the state businesses and partner with independent agent or distributor. Partner with independent agent or distributor at destination, but more importantly, organize and sponsor the manufacturer in the state for exhibition in the market abroad. For exhibition in the market abroad. How can the state itself profit directly from all this? So here is palm oil, by the way, palm oil. What we basically do with this is we get some data from agronomists. We might have one or two issues with some of the data, which I feel is fine. What is important for me is the idea being shared, even though maybe the agronomist data we got are probably a bit no more in a bit higher than what it is right now. But like I said, what is critical here right now is the idea. And here is the idea we have. We are saying that the state can generate 390 billion from palm oil export. So let's do the calculation together. The state currently have 306,000 hectares of land. If the state use half of it to cultivate, that's arable land. If half of it used to cultivate palm kernel at a yield per hectare of 18 metric tons, possible yield is 3.7 million tons. If we process that at a yield per metric ton of palm oil of 19%, we can get 707 metric tons of palm oil. 707 metric tons of palm oil. If this palm oil is exported and sold at the exchange rate of about 415, this state, and if you remove the cost of farming of the farmers, cost of processing and cost of export, and you even, the state can generate up to $378 billion. The idea here is that, look at what we think the state can do. The state can partner with a special purpose vehicle, a company. The state can partner with Okomu Oil, for example. Okomu Oil have the competence to produce palm oil in Nigeria. Provide funds to the SPV. The state government has a larger share of this arrangement, maybe 80%. They form farmer into cooperative to produce palm kernel, issue them an LPO, train them to be able to produce the right quality, provide collection center to receive them, and then clean them and process them for export, source for buyer and do documentation and shipment, present document for payment, receive proceed, and pay the farmers. And of course, share the profit between the private sector that the state government is bringing in, and more importantly, the state government that have money for development. For development. The impact of the suggested model, is go beyond generation of revenue via export. It has a humongous economic impact on employment generation. This, in my opinion, is a more effective, efficient, and enduring model for diversifying the economy of any state in this country. This model can also be replicated by federal government at the federal level, especially for the exportation of solid minerals. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for being able to join today. See you next week and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.